Well, hello there. How you doing? Welcome back to another wild story from corners of the internet. For more, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. Let's dive into it.
My wife, 34 female, cheated and confessed right after. Is there any hope? A couple nights ago, my wife of 2 years, together for 6, went to a metal show with a friend who was providing a professional service to the band, so she got to hang backstage beforehand for a couple hours. I didn't think much of this. She has done this before. It's a buddy system type thing, so her friend isn't alone with men she doesn't know, and my wife gets to see and meet bands she's into. She texted me throughout like usual. She seemed off when she got home that night, but just said she was extremely tired, and it was super late, so I didn't think much of it. The next morning, she confesses to me in tears that she ended up alone with one of the band guys for maybe half an hour, and they ended up talking, then flirting, then more. The extent of what happened is, she sat in his lap, they made out, and she felt up the outline of his thing through his pants. He asked for more and asked her to meet him after the show. She claims she said no to both. She says I can contact her friend to fact-check that they left together immediately after the show, but I haven't contacted her yet. She can't exactly give me a reason why this happened. She's a fan, and was flattered by the attention, and was just caught up in the moment, and it was a mistake, etc. I mostly believe her that's all that happened, but I'm having trouble imagining that I can get past this. I feel sick, and like I'm in shock. I don't feel angry right now, and I can tell my wife is hurting and guilty. I want to try and give this a chance at least, but I have no idea where to start. Has anyone had success with something like this? Or should I trust my gut reaction that I'll never feel the same about her?
She just put you in an impossible position. I almost can't say ignorance is bliss for such situation, but is it though? How would you feel if you found out some other way?
I'm sorry if it's too soon for an update, but I got a lot more info, so figured I should share for people that read my first post. Thanks all for advice, and just reading my story. If nothing else, I feel less alone in this. I figured she would just lie, but I decided to reach out to my wife's friend anyway. She asked if she could call me and that I should take it somewhere private, so I went out to my car. Here's how she told me things went down. I put all this in order as the conversation was very jumbled. Prior to the show, my wife made some comments to the friend that band guy was attractive and asked her friend if she thought she had a chance. Hypothetically. Friend said she thought it was odd, but figured she was being light jokey. Band guy, who is 55 by the way, and my wife were flirting heavily and openly in front of her friend the whole time backstage, to the point where the friend texted my wife asking her what her problem was. Friend left them alone not even close to a half hour, maybe 10-15 minutes, while she went to her car to put her supplies back and came back to find them as my wife described, sitting in his lap and making out. Prior to leaving them alone, she had asked my wife to go with her, and my wife repeatedly refused. They broke it upon friend coming back. Band guy thanked friend for her services but called her a duck block. He asked if they wanted to party after the show, to which the friend said no, and my wife said yes. Friend practically dragged my wife back to her car after the show, and only then did my wife begin to panic about friend possibly telling me. Friend told her she wasn't sure what she would do, but her friend is pissed at my wife and told me she's decided to cut her off. She feels she made her look unprofessional and like a groupie herself, and she's very mad she had to walk to her car alone at night because of her. And she's disappointed in her for cheating like that. So there you have it. It's likely my wife didn't do anything more than what she said, but she definitely would have. She lied about it and tried to get ahead of the truth. Yeah, I'm done. I'm pretty sure.
Good. But my friend, you need to get your priorities in order. Her trying to get ahead of the truth by lying and putting herself in a better light totally invalidates everything else.
I feel like I am blowing up this sub. This will be my last post for people who have asked. It has been helpful, thanks to everyone who offered advice or just sympathy. But after this, I'm going to step away from it. I know this is counter to what some people recommended, but I just couldn't do anything before speaking with my wife again. I just had to know more, and hear some things from her to be sure of what I'm going to do. I sat her down and told her that I knew she hadn't been honest with me about things, and that if there was any chance of reconciliation, she needed to be completely honest with me. I needed to know exactly what happened, why she did it, what she intended to do, and if anything like this has happened before during our marriage. She told me she'd had a crush on this musician for years. She was excited to meet him and wanted him to find her attractive. She is very attractive and always looks incredible on a night out, but didn't think anything would happen between them. When he flirted, she was super flattered and flirted back. She claims to still have had no intentions for more at that point, but was enjoying his attention. When her friend left, she deliberately stayed behind because she wanted to know if he would make a move, but claims she was going to reject him. Just more ego-tripping. Well, he did, and it was more of an assertive move than she expected. He just picked her up, sat down with her in his lap, and proceeded to make out with her. She said he was aggressive, but that she never resisted, said no, etc., and in fact enjoyed it and reciprocated. She said it happened too fast for her to think about it, that she was telling herself to stop but couldn't. He moved her hand to his thing once he was hard, and she rubbed him through his pants for a few minutes till her friend came back and interrupted. She straight up admitted that by this point she was horny, not thinking clearly, and wanted to have passionate hugging with him, and was planning to after the show. She 100% assumed her friend would cover for her. She was angry with her friend for making her leave after the show. Things hit her in the car. The guilt, the regret, the disgust with herself, the fear of losing me, etc. She lied out of panic but insists that what matters now is nothing more happened than what she said. She claims to be extremely remorseful, will do anything to save our marriage, all that. She says she put herself in a bad situation and that it will simply never happen again. I asked about the few other times she has been backstage with her friend and she swears nothing happened, but also admitted she was not particularly attracted to anyone she met those previous times. I asked her to leave for a few days so I could think about things. She agreed. I will be contacting a lawyer while she is away. I am getting a divorce. I will never be able to see her the same way. I can't imagine touching her again. I cannot imagine how completely and quickly she put me out of her mind. It's just over. I know there's no larger context for our marriage in these posts, and I don't know how to give that, and I honestly don't want to think much about that right now. I will just say, I knew my wife had a wild side. It made her exciting to me. Maybe I should have scrutinized that more, but I never saw anything that made me think I couldn't trust her. Now I think I was a safe and boring choice for her, and I think she's sure I will take her back despite this. I've taken some time off work and reached out to friends and family so that I won't be isolated in the next few days. For people that have asked about the friend, she is married and a lesbian, so no, I won't be chasing her, but she did offer to talk if needed, which I may take her up on. Lord knows it will be easier than explaining this to other people. Thanks again all and good luck with your own struggles.
Good man. You better divorce and end it now. Not dragging both of you through few rough years leading into a divorce anyways is an act of mercy for both of you. But wait, dear listener. I have more for you. You thought this was the end of the story, didn't you?
I am going to try and keep this brief. I know I said I was done, but I just wanted to update since a number of people have asked. I appreciate again all your kind words and support. I asked my wife to give me a few days to think things over alone. She went to stay with a friend. She would blow my phone up every other day or so, alternating between being apologetic and angry with me. She told her family I kicked her out. I eventually told them why, but I don't think they believe me. I did decide to divorce her. I have a lawyer and getting ready to start the process. I'm not sure how that's going to shake out for me yet, but I don't feel I have another option. Whatever happens, I'm just glad we don't have kids together. I informed her and she hit the roof. We went through every stage, her crying and apologizing and making promises to getting angry and trying to make me sound crazy and downplaying what happened. She said some awful things, how no one else would love me, and what a failure I am for giving up on 2 marriages. Yes, this is my 2nd marriage. Eventually, I just hung up and haven't taken her calls since. She had a case to stay in the house, of course, but she is opting to move in with family. I left for the day while she packed her things to avoid her. I don't think she even has a lawyer yet, so things are sluggish, and even texting her is terrible, so I think I'm going to go no contact and just have my lawyer communicate for me. This part is petty, but it's the only thing making me feel a little better right now. I met with her friend, the one who informed me, and her wife for a beer. She's still friends with my wife's other friends and let me in on some gossip. Wife has tried hitting up the musician on Instagram and has gotten nothing back. She's deluded that they had a connection. It's almost sad. Her friends all think she's crazy and messed up hugely by doing all this. They make fun of her behind her back. It's kind of brutal. So her telling me how sorry she is and still trying to get with this other guy is sick, but I know made the right decision. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in a really bad place. I just don't know how I could be so wrong about someone. I know all the advice about working on myself, but right now, I'm just getting through the days.
I hope you recover swiftly, OP. You deserve better. Also to your wife, hopefully X when you hear this, I have one simple advice. Don't cheat on your significant other with someone who doesn't even know your name. Thank you for staying till the end. Share your thoughts with us in the comments. Also hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get new wild stories every day. See you on the next one.